Voice live at Southview Middle School in Edina.
I'm Chloe Manor from Edina, Minnesota, on the Southview Environmental Group at my school.
And Chloe, what do you think about the climate conference that's coming up in Paris? Why is that important to you?
Well, I think it's really important because it's a bunch of powerful nations meeting together to talk about climate change, which is an important issue because the entire planet is at stake, and that's like the biggest impact of almost any of our problems in today's world. So I think it's a really important conference just because of what's being discussed and the stake of it.
Yeah, and we'll be very glad to bring your voice there, but do you think that one voice, especially a kid, can one voice make a difference?
I think one voice can make a difference if it inspires other voices to try and make a difference. So by itself, it's just a pebble in a lake, but if you start throwing a lot of pebbles into a lake, you notice it.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Lund, and I work with the Southview Environmental Group. This is important to me because I have children, and I work with young people, and I really feel strongly on my shoulders the weight and responsibility of adults to build a better world for our children. And we're not doing it right now, and so we need to engage in drastic change in order to make certain that we're handing them a world that we feel good about instead of one that's broken.
And are you proud of the students that you work with?
Oh my gosh, so very proud. They're engaging in so many positive actions to try and make this world a better place. And again, as an adult, I just really feel the onus of supporting them in that work and following their leadership and supporting it as best I can, which we should all be doing.
I'm Katrina Alig, and I'm from Edina, Minnesota.
And what grade are you in?
8th.
8th grade. And what do you think about your future and how the Paris conference can have an impact on your future?
I think it's really important because if I do have kids when I'm older, I want to give them a world where they can be safe and they don't need to worry about all these problems, and if we're going to suffocate, essentially, in our world, both metaphorically and literally.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about banding together with the other students in your SVEG team? Does that make you feel like something can be done?
Yeah, it really does, because when it's just one person, you really feel like you can't make a change. But then when it's a group of people, then people start noticing, and it can make a domino effect, where next thing you know, there are loads of people wanting to make a change, and then it can happen.
And can you briefly tell us about your project with the Southview Environmental Group?
Our project is something where we want to get a beehive on our property, and so that we can help save the bees because they've been disappearing due to many things, one of which is climate change. They're running out of good habitat, and also because of pesticides and other things like that. And I think it's important to do even something small because it can make a change.
Yeah. And food is not a small thing, and we need bees and pollinators to provide a good food system. Thank you so much. And Mindy's going to tell you about her project and why climate change is a big concern for her.
So my project is organic makeup, and so we're using like organic coconut oil and honey and stuff to make lip scrubs. And I think that global warming is a huge problem because like all these plants and animals are being affected, and that's going to affect like the future of the world. And so I think that most people would like having a lot of animals on the planet. So,
and probably some organic products that give back to nature rather than take away and cause more problems. So the kinds of future that we're wanting to build out of the Paris conference is one that listens to young people and develops career opportunities that will be sustainable and good for the planet. Anything else you want to say about the climate conference? And will you be watching Citizen Voice?
I will definitely be watching Citizen Voice, and for the conference, I would say, do anything that you can to prevent global warming, and like, solar panels and economically friendly fuel and stuff.
Great. Thanks, Mindy. Is with the Jane. And what grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
And you've been at Southview and Edina schools since you were in elementary?
Yep.
Beautiful. So tell us why you're here. What's important to you about our future?
Well, I just think that preventing global warming would be saving all of us, because we want to be in a place that's safe for us, because our home should be safe.
Do you love animals? Yeah, and animals are being impacted too. What's your project at school?
Well, we're the endangered species group, so we have a fundraiser for that in March, I think, and we're going to raise money for the endangered animals.
And then what will you do with the funds that you raise?
We're going to give them to an endangered species group that helps animals all around the world.
Beautiful. And if you had one thing that you would like to say to our president or our other leaders that are going to be making this agreement in Paris, what would you like them to know?
I just want to tell them to make sure that you're taking the right steps, because this is our planet at stake.
And we wanted to let Matt say a few words about, what he does with these kids and his concerns for the Paris climate talks.
The biggest thing that I do with the kids is step back and let them take the lead. They come up with so many just amazing ideas about things that they are passionate about and things that they want to see done, and they are starting to take the steps to make those changes. You heard from many kids here today that were talking about their project, talking about what they were passionate about, and just seeing them work through, and talk through all of these ideas and then start their projects and start moving forward. It's fantastic. And to be able to sit back and support them and help them, help them with their ideas, help them reach out to others, help them to get their ideas out into the world, out to our leaders, out to, from small to large. They are meeting with our principal. They're going to be meeting with our mayor here in Edina. We're going to try to get an audience with representatives, just so that these young people with their fantastic, brilliant ideas can start getting those out and let our leaders know that these issues matter to them.
For our negotiators in Paris, if you could get one thing, a citizen voice out, what would you want to say?
The biggest thing that I would want to say is focus on collaboration. How can we do this together? And those people that are going to this conference, well, they are already on board to a certain extent, and with whatever their background is, with whatever their vision for our planet and for this conference, well, they're making the choice to be there. So that level of cooperation is there. How then do we reach those people that think this is a waste of time, or those people that think that climate change isn't real, that climate change isn't happening? How can we collaborate with those leaders that are really holding back? And I would like to encourage our negotiators at this conference to think about how we can collaborate with the people that are resisting, the people that don't believe that this is an important thing.